Meghan Markle is now on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. Okay, she's on the cover of Harper's Bazaar art issue for November 2025. Now, let me tell you, because I'm petty and this is why you guys watch me, this is what I get paid the big bucks for. Meghan Markle.
Imagine being so hated by the magazine editor that wanted to turn you into a star that in their cover feature, they actually screw you over in such...
With Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. This is how Meghan Markle was spoken about in her latest interview with Harper's Bazaar. Another day, another opportunity for Meghan to latch onto the title given to her by the very institution she has spoken negatively about, constantly berated, and cut off in 2020.
That is just what's happened overnight, with this extraordinary cover feature on Harper's Bazaar with Meghan Markle as they claim that she's meeting her moment. But indeed the reality...
So basically nothing new, right? Meghan was featured in the latest issue of Harper's Bazaar, a women's fashion magazine issued monthly. Now, not only was she featured, but she also graced the covers of the magazine, tagged Meghan's Moment. The interview was an opportunity for her to take control of the narrative and author her next chapter.
British royalty. Meghan Markle was as high as you could get in British society and basically global society. I mean, we just saw they had a massive state dinner at Windsor Castle. Okay.
The Netflix star is no stranger to owning her story, controlling the narrative, or anything like that. From the jump, she and her husband have not kept quiet about anything relating to their lives as a royal.
Flagged a photo shoot for Harper's Bazaar. And Kinsey, this isn't the first time she has recreated some of Diana's most iconic looks. I don't know what she's playing at.
It began with an Instagram post announcing their exit from being working members of the royal family. Then came scathing interviews detailing the alleged betrayal, racism, and abuse they faced from members of the royal family and the British press alike.
Fund her over-the-top lifestyle. Even in a private apartment, she is introduced.
So tagging this feature as Meghan's Moment seems a bit overstated, as she has made every moment her moment ever since she stepped into the royal life. And this is just another opportunity for her to do the same thing.
By the staff as the Duchess of Sussex. Yes, that's right. This is actually a completely mortifying...
The story about Markle in the women's magazine was written by Caitlin Greenidge, who has interviewed other celebrities, including Dua Lipa and Zoe Saldana. This interview reinforced some things we all know about the Hollywood princess. No matter how hard she tried to come across as perfect and easygoing, her true nature always shone through, even in this interview.
Feature. Because, Tom, a lot of people are saying, yeah, on the surface, the magazine might be trying to make Meghan look good, but as soon as you peel behind...
On two separate occasions during the interview, she was announced as the Duchess of Sussex twice.
Going on in this feature, indeed, she's made to look like a complete and utter moron, still using her royal title in the most extraordinary manner.
And on another occasion, during their third meeting, a similar occurrence happened. This time, the interview took place at a friend's home in the Upper East Side. Upon their arrival, the house manager announces, "Meghan, Duchess of Sussex," even though we appear to be the only other two people in the house.
Clear sense of identity or direction, they start to lean on imitation. And Meghan is such a polarizing figure. She must think cosplaying Princess Diana will help her absorb some of the warmth people still feel for Di.
This is precisely what the Queen feared would happen, and it might just be another reason that drives Prince William over the edge in his quest to prune the monarchy. He would be coming for their titles sooner or later.
When the journalist arrives, they're the only two other people in the home, and someone has to announce, "Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, she's here. It's Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex." How pretentious do you have to be introduced as Meghan, the Duchess?
This blatant, outlandish use of the title in situations like this signifies the commercialization of royal titles, something the Queen feared would happen. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been going about using their titles as a brand gimmick and marketing strategy to elevate themselves and make them seem more relevant than they really are.
Meghan Markle could have been at that dinner, but she blew it, okay? She absolutely blew it, and now she's living in California trying to hawk jams, jellies, and dog biscuits and candles that have no wicks, okay? Candles that have no wicks.
The cooking show host has left the royal life behind, yet took a souvenir. A souvenir she has abused and now uses as a prop for the spectacle that she calls her freedom and quest for growth. How do you go about parading the very thing that you're most famously known for bashing and trying to escape from? You can't condemn something so publicly and want to benefit from that same thing.
When I enter, the house manager announces, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, even though we appear to be the only two people in the house. I mean, Dan,
It doesn't work that way. However, Meghan has refused to get the memo and is taking it to extremes, with no care or regard for anyone or anything. This is nothing new for the opportunistic Suits star. She is highly ambitious and would do anything, even marry a prince to achieve her goals.
as you say, tucked into what on the surface appears to be a very warm and sympathetic and frankly sycophantic article in the way that, often these American magazines.
The announcing of titles in such a manner is insulting to the title itself, and to do so in that situation deeply undermines the weight of what the title represents. This is not unexpected for Meghan, as it came out that she kept using her HSH title in private correspondence after she stepped back from royal life, despite promising the Queen that she wouldn't do that.
Snark, I think, from the journalists is the official American term for this.
Because, Tom, you had a very interesting take on this in the Royalist, because, of course, you're connected.
A blatant disregard for the head of the monarchy, and yet she goes on and on about being good and doing good. One thing to note about the lifestyle brand enthusiast is that her words never match up to her actions. There is always a disconnect. She speaks against the monarchy, yet gallivants across America parading the title she got from the same institution.
Knows how titles work, realize that the moment you're on American soil, they're completely meaningless.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? It's an American citizen.
She also speaks about kindness and doing good, yet faces many allegations of bullying from both sides of the pond. When it comes to her, you have to take her words with a pinch of salt, because they never carry weight. And as you know, actions speak louder than words.
The Balenciaga boss, Piccioli, had actually not invited her, she had invited herself, and she has to confirm that.
Another part of the interview that got heads turning was her comment on her appearance at the Balenciaga show, which caused a stir on both sides of the Atlantic. She said, "I was excited for him," she says. "I reached out and I said, happy to come and support you. We kept it a secret, and it was really fun."
Reached out and I said, happy to come and support you. You kept it a secret, and it was really fun. And so I believe what she said.
The him, in particular, is Pierpaolo Piccioli, the creative director of Balenciaga and a close friend of Meghan. Her presence in this particular event caused a stir in the media. Yet, she glossed over all that and spoke about it being really fun. Well, that's typical tone-deaf behavior for the Duchess of Sussex.
But she's not actually quite prepared to go that far, and there is a lot of woke mumbo.
The comment also shows how far she'd go to insert herself in certain places in a bid to stay relevant and save her failing influence and celebrity status. She went so far as to invite herself to the event and maybe thought to herself, consequences be damned, at least people would talk about me.
Years. Meghan still has not established an identity of her own. Without a strong inner compass, it becomes much easier to borrow someone else's legacy instead of building your own. And the Harper's Bazaar piece underscores a long.
This is a behavior we've seen Meghan exhibit over the years, from her time as a rising actress on the hit show Suits to her royal life and post-royal life. This is the same woman who begged the world for privacy and claimed it was one of the reasons she and her husband would exit the royal family.
With Meghan's public presentation, there is no sense of purpose, no clear message. It feels like someone sharing something, it feels less like someone sharing something meaningful and more like someone trying to stay in the spotlight for the sake of it.
Yet she always finds a way to thrust herself back into the spotlight, especially when it could lead to a scandal or controversy.
Talks about her family and her background and her childhood and her mother. And what the writer does, I think, very, very cleverly,
As the interview goes on, she talks about the work, saying, "I like the community of work and the connection. I think a lot of it is in my DNA."
The mother so much that the absence of the father kind of floats to the surface in a kind of slightly mysterious kind of way.
I just kept thinking that.
The Duchess loves to boast that she shows up for her business, as if she's the hardest working woman in the kingdom. But let's be honest, if she's really that dedicated, why are her precious jars of jam sitting on those shelves like forgotten relics, practically fermenting in real time? Something's not adding up, and it certainly isn't the sales.
Okay, the fact that a $64 candle did not have a wick is unacceptable, and it ended up making some news, okay? The Daily Mail and some other websites have done a whole story on where's...
The reviews on her candles and jams haven't been pleasant so far. Some customers referred to the jam as runny and the candles as overpriced. Apparently, a customer allegedly found no wick in the candle he bought from our dearest entrepreneur. This doesn't scream dedication, if you ask me.
$64 for a candle is unacceptable if it does not come with a wick. Now, like you guys, why is there a hole? Okay, I've spoken to several candle makers the last few days who've reached out to me. Either they poured too much wax and there's a wick down in there, or it was broken off.
Instead, it creates the image of someone who jumps into projects she has no real depth or grounding in, and refuses to listen to people who actually understand the work. It also shows someone who believes her name alone should be enough to make anything sell, even when she puts in minimal genuine effort.
I don't think you can read that stuff about the mum without thinking, what about your dad? And for those of us who know the story of Thomas Markle, you know, I know he is...
In the interview, she also speaks of the close bond she shared with her mother, who was a travel agent at one time and a free spirit, while she was more of an old soul.
You know, without any fault at all, and he did take money to pose for pictures, and he probably,
yeah, as she does,
was foolish,
and as she always has,
and indeed, but
she dipped into her childhood a little by talking about her maternal grandmother, the woman she credits for teaching her about food and family rituals. What stood out to everyone was who she did not mention. There was not a single word about her father, the man who had become a thorn in her side from the moment she stepped into royal life. Their relationship has collapsed so completely that they are now estranged, even though they were once very close in her early years.
business selling widgets, it doesn't matter if you're authentic or not. But if you are going to make if your whole business is predicated on this is not a jam.
In the interview, she doubles down on her claim that she's authentic, something she tries to sell through her brand, her engagements, and her cooking show. But authenticity is not one word that you'd associate with Meghan. She and her husband speak against parents posting their kids, yet Meghan does the same thing, although without posting their faces directly.
She talks about how much he loves her. Nothing about her love for him. So I just want to read you out this passage from the feature where the reporter for Harper's Bazaar.
And just when you think this Harper's Bazaar feature couldn't get any more theatrical, Meghan adds another layer by diving into her love story with Prince Harry. And let's just say that was a debacle in its own right. Meghan claims that no one in the world loves me more than Harry. She says he loves her boldly and fully, and that he's the one person who will always have her back. He loved her so much that he ruined the family that gave him life and destroyed the institution in which he grew up. How romantic.
Tight. She puts her hand on her heart when she talks about her husband. He loves me so boldly, fully, and he also has a different perspective because he sees media that I wouldn't. No one in the world loves me more than...
According to her, his childlike playfulness brings out the fun, carefree version of herself that she wants the world to see. But what does Harry get? It was all about how much he loves her. Harry has been an instrument in her grand master plan, whatever plan she has in her head, and Harry is none the wiser.
Him, so I know he's always going to make sure that he has my back. With Harry, Meghan explains, you have someone who has just this childlike wonder and...
While Meghan is going on and on about Harry's unconditional love, at this exact moment, his relationship with the royal family is hanging by a thread. While she's praising him for being her safe space, her biggest cheerleader, and her partner in creativity, the reality is that Harry has been drifting further and further from the life he once knew.
always tried to dress like Princess Diana in the perfume allegedly and everything to try and sort of create this aura around Harry that maybe she is Princess Diana sent into his life to protect him. Princess Diana, she would have seen Meghan Markle.
Harper's Bazaar tries to paint Meghan as a woman stepping into a new era, someone reclaiming her voice after years of being shaped by other people's narratives. But the problem is that the themes they use to build this image are the exact same ones Meghan has relied on for almost a decade. It's boring, old, and tiring.
Of the, as ever business, for how much longer that will continue, I don't know. But like, it's just sort of, I just find it so weird that she just keeps going on. And I thought it was really interesting, these interviews.
The childhood activism story, the tales of growing up around social unrest, and the rise to global attention after dating Harry, these aren't new chapters. They are recycled pages from the same script she has been performing since 2017.
Okay, and so there's a bit of a coup here for Harper's Bazaar because Serena Williams has spoken on the record. You know, that's not something that's happened before, Tom. And she says, we love a good mimosa.
To really sell their story, the magazine piles on a bunch of praise from everyone in Meghan's inner circle. Suddenly, her friends and collaborators cannot stop gushing about her amazing work ethic, her overflowing warmth, and her world-saving sense of purpose. It sounds almost too perfect, like they were reading from a script handed to them. The timing is suspicious, the tone is sugary, and the whole thing feels less like genuine admiration and more like a coordinated cleanup job meant to rescue her image before the cracks show any further.
It feels like 10 minutes go by, and it's like, we never stop smiling. Then you've also got her other best friend, what's her name, Zajfin, who says she's funny.
Because when you step back and look at Meghan's recent public projects, the picture is far less glamorous. Her Netflix series struggled to draw viewers, barely making a dent on the platform. Her lifestyle brand faced criticism for overpriced products that felt more curated than crafted. And her podcast ventures, both on Spotify and beyond, fizzled out before they could take off.
Markle, you guys, and we took a screenshot, okay? If you go to the website to even click and report a damaged product, the link is broken. Okay, the link is broken. I can't even report this as a damaged product.
Every time Meghan launches something, the rollout is grand, but the reception is underwhelming, and that's where the disconnect sits. Harper's Bazaar describes a powerhouse entering a creative renaissance, but the results don't match the narrative.
Coming from a million miles away, and it seems like the late Prince Philip maybe saw her coming. He allegedly gave Prince Harry a warning about getting married to Meghan Markle ahead of the wedding in 2018. The interaction was detailed.
By the end of the interview, what should have been a triumphant reset reads more like another performance, another attempt to reshape a story that the public stopped reading a long time ago. Harper's Bazaar hoped to show Meghan having a breakthrough moment, but the reaction online shows something very different.
Mission, no, but when I enter, the house manager announces, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
People are tired. They've seen this act before, and instead of ushering in a fresh chapter, this feature only highlighted just how stuck she is in the same old narrative.